G'day, Tradie Joffa here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a tin metal rose. So, perfect anniversary gift. She will love it because it's handmade by you. You can make it very quickly, and I'm going to show you the technique, how to make this with just a few hand tools. So make one or make 10, because 10 years is 10. So if it's your 10th year anniversary, this is perfect. Let's get going. Okay, so what you're going to need is some scrap sheet metal. I'm using 2mm solid wire that you can get from your hardware store, and a template set. There, you can print one out online, cut it out with some scissors, and then transfer it onto metal. So I've got a metal template set. Or go get an artificial rose, pull it apart and trace it out. So I made these ones and just drew it out. And the main thing that you need to have is, with each layer, the center circle gets larger every time. You can have an additional layer like this one. You just make it slightly bigger for the last one. Okay, before you go and cut all your shapes out, you don't want to do it on one big piece. You want to cut them all individually so it's easier to work with. Use your straight ones to cut them out. But I'm going to use a 5-inch grinder because it's easier. And then I'm going to cut to the center of each templates that I made, and then I'll trim around with the tin snips. So remember, you're going to be cutting the black line off. Don't cut on the outside of the black line, because then it's going to be bigger than the template that we used. So you can see the textures on the outside of the template. So the black is going to be cut off. First we'll cut all the left ones. So cutting towards the left. And then we'll use the right ones, which cut towards the right. And there we have it. Have all the pieces cut out, ready to go. So you can see there's a bit of burrs from the cuts, but I'm just going to get the grinder and just give it a bit of a clean before we go to the next step. Okay, so now we're going to drill out the holes. We're just going to use a 4mm drill bit. If you use a center punch before drilling, then the drill bit won't travel around as you're trying to drill the hole. So this is a very handy center punch. You just push down and it pops a little mark where you want to drill. And it just reloads when you release. So next we're going to be shaping the leaves and, you know, getting a nice realistic shape to the leaves and bend them up before we assemble it. So you're going to need a hammer. The best one I found is these panel beating hammers. If you've got one like it, or if you just got a normal hammer, it'll work as well. But set your vise with a gap about as thick as your finger, and then we're going to start shaping the leaves. Just like that. We do that for all of them. And the middle layer, the first layer that we put on, we're going to bend these quite sharp. So we're just going to close up the vise a tiny bit more so we can put a sharper curve on it. All our pieces have some curves in it, but we're not done there. Okay, so for the next stage, as we bend the leaves edges over, I'm using a solid block which I've rounded off the corner a little bit, gives me a bit more control, and still using the panel beating hammer. Just like that. The edges bend over and it creates more of a realistic rose petal. It's a bit hard to see with this light. Let me try and get a better light on this block for you. It's better. My finger. It's hard to hold these center ones. The star leaves just downwards slightly. So now that we have bent up all the petals to make it more realistic, you have to decide whether you're going to paint it or not. I am. We're going to paint it with a engine red, which is a bright red. It's going to look beautiful. Grey primer first to make the colour pop. Now that all our parts are painted, we are going to make the stem. Okay, so for the stem, grab a piece of wire, make it about with the elbows in, about that long, around about 1 metre. Then we cut it. Now you got a piece of wire about 1 metre long. Get both ends put together and just put those two ends in the vise. Just like that. We're going to find the center, so we just pull and squeeze. And then we've got two even length sides of the wire. Now we're just going to flatten the end a little bit. Try and leave the end with the bulb or the roundness of it. So I'm going to flatten it a little bit, but don't hit right on the end. Just inside the end, because we want the end to be big, so that the petals don't pull through. So this is going to be the middle of the rose. Just like that. Alright, just twist it a few times around itself so the wires come together, and you get these two ends into the drill. Just like that. And tighten it up. And then put the other end into the vise. Simply put it on forward, pull a little bit and twist. And there we have it. One stem. You can go tighter if you like. It's completely up to you, but it's nice and strong. And now we're ready to put the rose petals on. So we only need pliers for the middle one because it is quite hard to bend. So just simply put the pliers on against the table and bend up. Middle is quite hard, but the rest are easy. And then we simply squeeze it together. That's the center of the rose. And then you can put that straight on. It won't come through because you've got that expanded bit of the wire. Now we're going to start with the petals with the smallest circle or the smallest center, and then we go to the bigger ones. So what we do is we just give it a slight twist, each one, just a slight twist, because we want them just to overlap each other a little bit. And then just bend it in, bend it in. Keep going, and you bend it up. Just thumb in there and you just push them all. Just like that. And then we put it on the stem. And then we do the next one. That one didn't go behind, so I'm just going to pop that behind. And then
you put that on the stem. And the last one.
the last one we don't need it to be as bent. So just open it up. Good, and then final one. Completes the rose. Now, one thing left. There's a little bit of wire around here. And we're done. Normally, after I've been handling it a bit, it does get a bit dull, so I'll touch it up with the spray paint once it's all finished, and it just gives it that little extra shine. Cut off the excess wire. And there you have it. Beautiful long stem metal rose. Perfect for your wife on your anniversary. Handmade by you. She's gonna love it. You can thank me by liking. And if you want, subscribe if you want to see more cool videos like this. It'll help me out. Thank you very much.